3 PCBs shipped for this board: solder, hot swap, and electrocapacitive. Pick solder version and the build looks like this. Fan on, iron heating, switches go in one at a time. Pick the EC version and you're plugging in stuff. Pick hot swap and you're somewhere in between. That PCB choice changes more than the build process. It changes the price, it changes what you're committing to, and it changes who this board is for. Let's talk about the Aepex 60. Hey everyone, welcome back to Scoop Bar. This video is sponsored by KBDfans. They sent us the Aepex 60 to take a look at. The take is mine, the good and the bad, and you're going to hear both. KBDfans did not have the chance to review this video before it is published. Standard Scoop Bar deal. Quick thing before we get into it. If you're new here, hello, my name is Jeff. We are a passion project and I do this with V alongside our actual day job. So if you find what we do useful, hitting like and sub helps us a lot. Affiliate links for the Aepex 60 and a bunch of other gear are in the description if you want to support what we do. All right, the board. What we have is a 60% gasket mount keyboard with an 8 degrees typing angle designed by AEBoards and sold globally by KBDfans. Group buy is live right now and closes on May 23rd. Estimated delivery is Q3 of this year. Here's the thing you need to know first. The product page says from 137 USD. That's the base number. By the time you pick your PCB type, plate material, weight bar metal, and top frame, you're realistically looking at around 336 USD. So the price you see is not the price you'll pay, and we'll talk about whether or not that's worth it later in the video. Quick note on our unit. KBDfans confirmed production boards will ship with gasket and feet uninstalled. Ours arrived with gasket and feet pre-installed, and there's a small scuff on the case. It just looks like it was previously assembled, which makes a lot of sense for a review unit. Just flagging it so you know it's not a production complaint. In the box, top case, bottom case, weight bars, gaskets, alignment pins, feet, the PCB you pick, daughter board, optional foam, plate, and carrying case. The carrying case is always a nice touch. What I wish was included: spares, extra case screws, extra feet, extra gasket. On a board with this many user serviceable parts, spares matters. The only extras we got with our unit was the alignment pin set. One quick thing before we go further. We do a control sound test in every review, same switch, same plate type when we can, against our control board, the Neo 65CU. We do it the same way every video so you have a reference point across the boards we cover. The Neo 65CU is not the bar every board has to clear. It's just a consistent yardstick. KBDfans didn't send us aluminum plate this time, so we're using the PC plate for comparison. Here's MX Black on PC against the Neo 65CU. Some quick info on the people behind this thing. AEBoards is an Australian designer that got a few projects under their belts. The Constellation, the Aegis, the OA Plus collaboration with Mecha Maker. They're also the designers of Staby's stabilizers. Their thing is modular construction, boards that let you tune the build through plate choice, mounting variants, finish options. The Aepex 60 continues that philosophy. KBDfans is the global vendor and our sponsor. They're a big Chinese vendor, in-house projects like the Tofu and Eden, plus a long history of running group buys for outside designers. Regional coverage on this one is solid. Keebmat in Canada, MOKB in Vietnam, KTEX in Singapore, Rational Keys in Turkey, Keyboard Treehouse for Oceania. So if you're not in the US, you've got an option close to home. Onto the design and the build. The chassis is mostly a one-piece bottom case, but the side profile gives this layered look thanks to the dual waistline cut on the sides. There's a mountain-inspired relief detail on the back, the stonewash finish under the translucent PC top frame, and honestly, I think that's that's my favorite combination. The top frame is a separate piece raised slightly off the bottom case, and that choice is doing two things at once. One, it lets the same bottom case run HHKB, WinKey, and WinKeyless by swapping the top piece. Two, let's be honest, it's also a cost-saving move. One bottom case mold across 3 layouts is cheaper to produce. Both can be true at the same time. And with the raised top case, the design language earns it because so much of this board is curves, but I'm not going to pretend the modularity isn't also convenient on the manufacturing side. One thing the design does not support, step caps lock. The confirmed reason is there are side case screws right where the step caps cutout would need to go, and they will interfere. If you're an HHKB purist who wants step caps, that's a real loss. Worth asking whether the screw needed to be in that exact spot, or if at all. It is what it is. Mount system. Long pour on gaskets sit in the machine slots in the top and bottom case, slotted, not adhesive, and I love they went with that design. Cleaner to install, easier to service, and you can pull and reseat without ruining anything. Then there are 4 corner alignment pins, sometimes called silicone beans, that clamp between the case halves to suspend the plate. You install them after lay the assembly into the bottom case before you put on the keycaps. 2 things to note about these pins. First, they double as a force brake, which is a nice clean piece of design. Second, they're technically optional. AEBoards has built early prototypes without them, and you can finesse the assembly in. With the pins in, it's easier and you get the force brake, so use them. Small build cork. Even with the pins installed, the assembly can drift toward the bottom of the case. Slide it back up and it stays put during regular use. PCB options, you get 3: solder, hot swap, and electrocapacitive. EC is split backspace only, so keep that in mind if you're an EC fan. The solder version is the build you see here on screen. Hot swap is the easier path if you don't want to touch a soldering iron and sniff lead. EC is a different feel altogether, and if you never tried EC, this is a reasonable place to start. 3 PCB options at this price point is pretty generous. Most boards give you 2. Last build note, the feet. The way they're shaped, I can see them coming off with enough desk dragging over time. It's not a problem on day 1, but day 300, I'd want a backup pair in the drawer just in case. So KBD fans, if you're listening, sell extra feet as an add-on or just include a spare feet in the kit. Aesthetics. 8 bottom case finishes, anodized black, silver, red, orange, dark gray, 2 stonewash options, pine green and celadon, plus an e-coating in a color called U9, which is the stock color of GMK. Multiple top frame materials and colors, with translucent PC top being the standout in my opinion. 2 weight bar materials, stainless steel or copper. And this is the honest part. That's a lot of decisions. Case color, top frame material, plate material, PCB type, weight bar metal, layout. That's 7 choices to make before you check out. And I want to ask you a real question. Do you actually swap top frames after the fact? Has anyone watching this bought a second top frame in a different layout for a board they already own? Tell me in the comments, because the modular top frame is sold to us as a feature, and I'm genuinely curious whether anyone uses it as one. And the same question goes on color and material options. If AEBoards had shipped this as a 3 or 4 prefix colorways, would the price come down because now there are way less SKUs they need to manufacture? Would the buying experience feel cleaner? Decision paralysis is real for a board like this. Pick your colorway and your PCB type before you open the page, or you'll be there for an hour. What I'd actually like to see as add-ons, extra gasket sets in different colors, alignment pins in different colors. That's an easy way to give buyers an aesthetic tuning without piling on case level decisions. Now, the sound and feel. The plate is your tuning lever for this board. The case and mount system are consistent enough that whatever plate you pick really sets the character. Want more reference? Same switch, MX Black on PC plate, then on carbon fiber plate. You can hear the carbon fiber plate giving a tighter, maybe brighter sound signature, while the PC is rounder, more poppy. Neither is wrong, pick what you want. Switch comparison this time, same plate, PC with 2 different switches, KeyGeek Y3X versus HMX Cola. And honestly, this board sounds great in my opinion. The thing I keep coming back to is wanting to hear what the aluminum plate does. The plates we've tested all have character, but I bet aluminum kind of rounds out the picture. So if you're looking to pick up the kit, drop a comment on what plate you went with. So who is this for? Buy if you want a 60% with an interesting theme, you're comfortable with a $300 plus after configuration, and you want plate, PCB, and finish flexibility from one kit. The PC top frame with stonewash is a particular standout for me, and the 3 PCB options is genuinely useful. Skip if you specifically need step caps look, skip if you don't want to make a dozen configuration decisions before checkout, and skip if you're looking for the cheapest path into a 60%. There are better value options at a lower price. Now, the Aepex 60 is good. It sounds good, it feels good. It is not budget good. Decide what you actually want before you click. One more time on the timing. Group buy does close on May 23rd and ETA is Q3 of this year. If you decide you want one, don't sleep on it. Now, before I let you go, tell me, do you actually want to swap top frames on a board you own, or is that a feature you never use? Genuinely curious. If you watched the video all the way to this point, thank you so much for your support. Love you all, and I'll see you in the next build.